understand you were with the Hearts manager earlier today, and Shankland was definitely the topic of conversation.
He was part of the conversation, a big part. I think Derek McInnes has made no secret of the fact he's desperate to keep Shankland at Hearts. I think Keith will back him up. It was one of the first things he did when he got the job. McInnes was speak to his captain and speak about his future, about what he was thinking. I think Derek McInnes said today he's going to speak to Lawrence Shankland again tonight. But it's getting to the point now where Hearts need an answer. No, Derek McInnes needs an answer on where Lawrence Shankland's going to be playing his football. I think he's got one or two other offers. I think that's clear. I think there's interest from abroad, which would be obviously interesting and appealing in one way. But I don't think Hearts are out of the running with this, Daniel. I do think Hearts are still under serious consideration from Shankland himself. They've obviously put a really good offer on the table for him, but time is getting on. Hearts have got a League Cup group stage coming up. They go to Spain on Saturday for pre-season training, and I think Derek McInnes would want an answer before then, if I'm honest, because he wants to get things moving. And if Shankland agrees to stay, it solves a big problem for Derek McInnes. He doesn't go and have to look for another centre forward. He's got a ready-made one there who's been there for years, has scored goals as the captain. It'd be ideal for McInnes. But if he's not going to be there, he has to know, because then they need to know between Derek McInnes and Jamestown Analytics at Hearts, they need to start looking at alternatives, and they're obviously big shoes to fill if Shankland's not going to be there. So no, I think there'll be developments on that score in the next few days, and we'll get a definitive one way or another, whether he's going to stay at Hearts or whether he's going to move on.
Liverpool Hearts, Keith says in the comments, if West Brom had offered a deal, he would have been gone straight away. He says it's the agent to blame, not Shankland. I mean, do you get the impression he'll still be a Hearts player, when the transfer window closes?
Well, what can I say? Put it this way: was it not for the appointment of Derek McInnes, Shankland wouldn't still be involved in a conversation with Hearts. Derek McInnes, his relationship with Shankland is such that became a complete game changer in terms of where Shankland saw his future. And I tell you this, even from before Derek McInnes was officially unveiled at Tynecastle, the conversations were starting, the back channeling had begun, and Lawrence Shankland was left in no uncertain terms about how much of a key man Derek McInnes thinks, that he would like him to be in the Derek McInnes version of Hearts. Talks with the agent began very early as well, and there's been a complete position change in terms of where Lawrence Shankland's mind was at, where his advisors were probably steering him. I think that Lawrence Shankland, his preference now at this point would be to get this deal done, to commit, to pledge his future to Hearts and play a real central role in a Derek McInnes Hearts side, because he's done some hard yards there at Tynecastle, and at times he's carried it on his own. I think it must be, surely after all that, you look at it and go, wow, working under a manager that I respect that highly, with a really improved squad, a better balance to the team, not all the weight on his shoulders to be the only guy that was contributing and carrying them. I think it makes sense. I make it a lot of sense for
a manager that likes wide players who get the ball into the box.
Get the ball into the box to create chances for centre forwards. It's a marriage. Listen, Lawrence Shankland and Hearts has been a great marriage. Lawrence Shankland with Hearts and McInnes is a marriage made in heaven. And I think that I know that Derek McInnes will be desperate to get that done. I think you're right, Scott. Hearts go away to Spain for a pre-season training camp on Saturday morning. And I think heaven and earth will be moved between now and then to make sure that Lawrence Shankland is on that plane.